Well, hi everyone, and welcome to my carnivore healing journey, week 7. I'm almost done with week 7, and wow, the changes that have been occurring. So, my last video, my last update was kind of traumatic or something. Weeks 5 and 6 were very difficult, and um, they were difficult because of me. What I neglected, I completely forgot to say in those videos is why I was feeling such harsh uh, histamine intolerance effects is because I was a dirty little carnivore. I started adding seasonings to my meat, and I did not really cut back on the dairy like I said I was, and I was still eating some eggs. Plus, I was still being a naughty little girl, and and I know this is going to sound really like, well, it shouldn't do any harm, but I was still having about 3 pecans a day. And I know how ridiculous that sounds, like, oh, 3 pecans shouldn't harm you at all. Um, but you never know. So anyway, during weeks 5 and 6, I was not as clean as I should have been. And here's the thing that I kept forgetting. I don't know how I can forget this because I've known it for so many years, is that I have a dairy intolerance anyway. So me continually, I had drastically reduced the butter during weeks 5 and 6, but still, it was the accumulation of butter here, butter there, a little bit of heavy cream. Now I can handle a little heavy cream in my coffee, no problem. But it was the addition of a little butter in the coffee, and then maybe adding some butter into whatever meat. It was just building up and causing me a lot of stuff. So cutting that out has really helped. I mean, I hate to say it, but Dr. JP is really right. Uh, and many people say that dairy is just too inflammatory for some people, and I think I'm one of them. Maybe a tad too inflammatory at this point until more healing happens, but yeah, I've got to lay off of maybe not completely the dairy, but take it very, very small. And also, I was during weeks 5 and 6, because I just was still needing to cleanse my palate after a big ribeye. I started drinking, those zero drinks. They're zero sugar, zero everything, but they have probably stevia in them. Yeah, I was starting to sip on those at night, taking just a couple of sips and putting it away. But I think you just cannot do that. You cannot add more stuff in when you're trying to get ultra clean. And maybe little things like that work for people who are doing carnivore simply for weight loss. They don't have any real healing issues. But for someone who has particularly histamine intolerance, mast cell, or any autoimmune, you really have to be ultra clean when you're going through this. Let's see, what else? Let's see. I'm having a little brain fog. I'm a little tired today, and you'll find out why. Yeah, and another reason why, yeah, and during weeks 5 and 6, of course, I had started the acupuncture, some cupping, some deep body work. So of course, all of that stuff came up. But you know what? Day 1 of week 7, this Monday, I felt completely different. I had had another acupuncture appointment and cupping session. And Monday, I felt fine. I didn't have any Herxheimer reaction. I just felt fine. And I've uh, reduced the butter, we did everything. And I was feeling very good. I feel very, very good. I still have some issues. Now, what I intuitively, I don't know for sure, but intuitively, what I feel like what is causing a lot of these histamine reactions or whatever, we're just not feeling well, is I must have an underlying bacteria in my gut, or yeast in my gut. It's probably yeast, maybe a parasite, but some underlying infection is going on in my gut, small intestines, that is also causing some stuff to happen. So there's more going on here. Let's see, what else do I want to tell you? Oh, yeah, the good news. And I think I said week 5 and 6, the weight loss is stalled, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that was really the case. I was just really, I couldn't tell. So I finally got a scale. I haven't had a scale for like 15 years, probably more than that. Anyway, about 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago, I don't know why I had to go to the doctor. I think it was an emergent. Oh, maybe it was the dog attack. I can't remember. Anyway, I had to get on the scale. And so this was like 3 or 4 years ago. Got on the scale. Oh, I don't want to say it. I'm so embarrassed. But I'm 5'9", but I was at 180. Now that was several years ago. And I know since then I at least gained at minimum 3 or 4 pounds. So let's just say I was about 184, 185. And when I got on the scale, well, I can't remember, Tuesday. I can't remember. Sometime this week, I was at 166.6, and the 666 yeah. I was in a crabby mood. So I was like, thank you, universe. I'll change my ways. So, and then, okay, so hold on to that. So I have definitely lost, 15, at least 15, 16 pounds, whatever the numbers are. But that day that I weighed myself, I don't know what I was doing. I was listening to something on YouTube, of course, and I saw something about dry fasting. And I could feel, even though I feel much better this week, I was still having histamine stuff, and just I could just feel some things not really quite working themselves fast enough. Fast enough. Anyway, so I was just sitting there listening to something on dry fasting. Somebody said it, and it was like, just like the carnivore thing, it was like an intuition dropped in. My body just said, do it. And I just decided I'm going to do a dry fast. No question, the body just said, it's time. Let's do it, and start it today. And so I went, and that day, I went and got a big ribeye, ate a beautiful ribeye, drank my waters, did my electrolytes, and then I had a whole package of bacon. I do that quite often. It's like my dessert. So, I was expecting, like, the next morning, because I had just weighed myself 166.6. And I was expecting the next morning that I'd be a little heavier, because I was trying to do a little feasting before the fasting. Anyway, I woke up and I had lost 2 more pounds. So there you go. Anyway, so I have started a dry fast. Yeah, I'm about 45, 46 hours of a dry fast, and a dry fast, as you know, is dry, no water, no contact with water, and no food. They have the hard fast, and they have the soft dry fast, and I'm somewhere in between. I'm like the tender or the flexible, because the hard fast is no showering, no brushing of the teeth, no contact with water. And the soft fast is you can take a shower, you can rinse your mouth out. Well, I'm not showering, and I'm not washing out my mouth. I'm not ingesting any water whatsoever. However, I have a house full of little kitty cats and things to do. And that means at least my hands, my fingers have touched. I'm cleaning out litter boxes. I'm rinsing off plates and cans. I cannot not wash my hands. So I'm creating a new fast, like the tender fast or the flexible dry fast, where your fingers get a little wet, but you're not taking a shower. You're not brushing the teeth. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. And I had originally thought I'll just do a 3 day, but who knows? I may go 5 because I think 5 to 7 is a real magical time. Um, that really begets a lot of healing. Now, let me see. What do I want to say? The first day of the dry fast yesterday, I mean, so far it's been so easy. I think dry fasting is easier than water only or liquid only. So much easier. There's no hunger, there's no thirst. Yes, my mouth is dry, and don't worry, I have at least taken um, a paper towel, and cleaned my teeth. I don't know why people just don't do that. You can just wipe off that grunge. But thank goodness they haven't made smell-o-vision yet. Anyway, because the ketones are really going for it. But what they say, and I don't know if there's a study, but what I keep hearing from all these doctors actually, there's very little information on YouTube about dry fasting, or really good information. There's a lot of anecdotal stuff, but and I know that there's the Phoenix Protocol, and that the author of that has his own YouTube channel, but I find he only does 4-minute videos, and I find it difficult. I just wish someone would say, here's what happens in 24 hours. This is what your body does. This is what your body does in 36 hours, 72 hours, and just kind of break it down. But I'm realizing I don't think they can, because it depends on where you start from. If you're starting from a regular standard diet, then your first 24 or 48 hours are going to be completely different. But if you're coming from a carnivore where you're already in ketosis and burning fat, you're going to have a different experience, and maybe you reach autophagy faster. I don't know. That's kind of what it feels like for me. So the first 24 hours was like the first week on carnivore. I was like, yes, I have energy, like snappy. My head was like on fire. I mean, fire in a good way, clear mind, getting stuff done. I had people here doing work. I was talking. Like, I didn't sit down all day long. I had energy, wasn't thirsty, nothing. It was unbelievable. And even though, and I got a little tired, of course, by just physically tired. And I thought I would have a difficult time sleeping. And I really didn't. Like, the mind was still like, yeah, let's go, let's do some stuff. But, it's like storming outside. It's time to go to bed. And I was feeling at first difficult time sleeping, but then consciously, I had to retract my consciousness away from the mind activity. And once I put it into the true self, just the emptiness, brought it back down into 0 point, I was out. Slept fine. I did well. When I wake up at like 3, it's usually from a cat jumping on me or something. But I did wake up, but then I just went back to sleep a little bit more. And I really slept fine. Now, when I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning, I could feel something was shipped. Actually, I could feel during the evening time. Yeah, after probably just after the 24-hour mark, probably 27, 28-hour mark, I could feel some things shifting in my body, or starting to heal or burn. I could feel some burning in my spine. It was a good burning, not a bad burning. Yeah, I could feel some things going on. And in the overnight hour, I could feel rumblings. It wasn't hunger rumblings, but it was like gastric juices going. And I could feel some gas bubbles releasing in my body. And I thought, oh yeah, something's working. It's starting to, it was like cleansing itself. That's the feeling. It was like cleansing, and the gas bubbles were releasing some toxins in my body. So I think, like, the release of toxins is already happening and has been happening. Now, when I woke up and got up, I thought, oh, yes, I can feel what's happening, because I think in the first 24 hours, the the body goes to the liver for its glycogen storage. And you run through that in the first 24 hours. And I woke up and I could tell something was different. There's a little bit of lethargy here. And I felt I had the shakes, and that's totally fine. That means I could feel like blood sugar was low. I had a little shake in my body, but that's good, because now, instead of going to the liver, I've taken all the glycogen out of the liver. I hope I'm saying this right. And now the body's moving to the fat cells, yeah, for its energy. And perhaps, in carnivore, are we always functioning that way? Oh, I don't know the science. But anyway, I could tell it was moving to a different way of producing energy. And this is through the fat. And if you're curious about, I have dry mouth, but I'm not thirsty. I'm not craving. I crave water. I think our mind craves water. We just want that. We want water in our mouth. But I don't feel like I've been on an island and I need water. I just have a dry mouth, and it's because I'm talking. But even when you get a little dry mouth, within 15, 20, 30 minutes, the saliva comes back. You think you're going to be parched and not peeing and not producing any water, but you do. So what happens is the body, goes to the fat cells to retrieve water. I guess it's called metabolic water. And so it uses the fat cells hold a lot of water. Of course, you know that. Anyway, so the body creates its own metabolic water. This is why you can survive, or people with higher fat content, my thighs will tell you, that absolutely we can survive for quite a long time without food or water, because your body generates it. And also, apparently, during this process, it also, what is the word I'm looking for? Stabilizes, or I can't think of the word, but it holds its own electrolytes, like it rebalances its own electrolytes. It like doesn't get rid of them, but it kind of it restabilizes them and moves them from inside the cell, outside the cell, something like that. Anyway, it does a good thing with your electrolytes. So that's been okay. Now, what else did I want to tell you? Dry fasting. Yeah. You know what? I feel like my skin is already looking better. I feel like I already look a little younger. I don't know if that's true or not, but let me see. First day of dry fasting. So remember, I started I lost 2 pounds after eating the ribeye. Yeah, my feasting. I woke up that morning and what was I? Oh shit, I can't remember. Oh yeah, I was 164. Yeah, so I had lost 2 pounds from the 166.6, and I was 164 even when I started dry fasting. And when I weighed myself today, I was 161.8. So 2 pounds in one day. So I can't imagine it being water weight. Now, maybe 6 to 8 ounces is water weight, because of course you're not peeing very much, but you are peeing. And of course it gets very dark and it gets, very concentrated and smelly, but that's good, because you're cleansing out some of the crud in the cells. And people say that they've peed in a glass jar, and at the bottom they can see like white residue, almost like when you're clearing hard water from your water tank, you see that white residue, the buildup. This is what they see in their pee. So I might try that. But I feel like I've already been passing some residue, because maybe this is TMI, but it's okay. Well, no, it's good. It's good information. When I was peeing a couple of times, it felt like I started having to go, like, oh my God, I have to go again. I have to go again. It was like an urgent, but it was only a drip or two. And that drip or two going through the urethra, it was like, oh, it wasn't like burning or pain, but it was like, in a way, it was almost pleasurable, but so uncomfortable, but not painful, and it wasn't burning. So I'm wondering if that was the feeling of passing. The birds just went crazy. Um, Passing some of that cellular junk. Yeah. Because during dry fast, oh, and they say, did I say this already? Sorry, mind fog. Um, one 24-hour dry fast is equivalent to 3-day water fast. So you get into autophagy much quicker. And instead of like cleansing the cells, it actually, they totally, like, not destroy them, but recalibrate them. Like they're all new cells. Yeah, they go in, the body goes in there and takes out all the proteins of the cells that are bad, and it just, yeah, it burns up the cells and you get new cells. Anyway, my hope is that I can stay on this long enough to actually stimulate new blood cells, new stem cells, and even, I'm hoping, what I was feeling in my gut, that bubbling, oh, this is what happens. Like when you're in a dry fast, you can kill the parasites, the yeast, and whatever bacterial and even viral. I heard some doctor mention viral infections in your body, because you're completely starving them out. And that's what I need to do. I really, I really feel this. I really feel like I need, I need to starve whatever's in my gut. And perhaps this, like I told you, herpes virus that's in my body with the Epstein-Barr, and also herpes, which I know a bazillion people have out there. So even though it's incredibly embarrassing to share this information, but I think it's important that, maybe dry fasting is a way to kill that incurable virus. Yeah, because, getting cold sores here or wherever you get them is not fun, and having that, it's just a horrible existence. And why they don't do more research on it is, I think they like us having the herpes virus. Anyway, enough of herpes. um anyway, that's my goal. This doing the dry fast was, really has nothing to do with weight, although I'm pleased with the weight loss. I can't wait to see what it is tomorrow. If I can get into the 150s, like, I will be in heaven. I haven't been. Do you know, when I was 13 years old, I weighed 165, and I've been that was like my whole life, 165, until I probably hit mid 40s, late 40s, and now 50s. Then it went up, 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 up. But of course, I was trying all the, vegetarian, vegan, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I've been trying to heal myself for so long that I was drinking my own pee years back. Remember all that? Anyway, the whole point of doing dry fasting is to really help do some internal healing, to create new stem cells. Yeah, I hope I can really get through this a couple more days, just a couple more days. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be one of those people that does it like once a year. I don't know. That's like not my thing. Okay, so yeah, I am feeling so much better. Oh, that's another thing I noticed. Dry fasting is great because if you don't have any input, right? Even in water, if you're not digesting, what is your body doing? It's healing. But also, I got a glimpse yesterday, and it was quite shocking. At the end of the day, I started getting my normal histamine response. I could feel now this could have been started the healing process, right? Because the healing process goes to those organs that are um, most actively affected. And it's always my lungs and oh, my cat, hold on. My cat needs me, but she can wait. Um, I started getting the tightness in my lungs and I thought, what's happening? They're clamping down like water is filling in. And sure enough, when I went to bed, I started sneezing and having yeah, my sinuses fill up. And I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder if part of my problem is environmental. And I mean, of course, I have kitty cats, I have litter boxes, I mean, dust. So maybe I need to think about an air purifier. And I did notice yesterday as well how sensitive, very sensitive my nose is. Just going from one room outside to the next room, I was getting little tingles in my nose and sneezing. And I thought, my God, I'm so sensitive to the environment. But I think that is just because of the underlying fungus, bacteria, whatever, not being healed. But today, completely different story. Very little, no sneezing that I can recall, nothing, maybe a little tickle. So things are feeling better. Okay, I rambled on enough. Let's see. Tomorrow, I'll try to do another little update tomorrow, but wish me luck. And I'll tell you about day 3 tomorrow. Okay, or day 4 on Sunday. Oh, yeah. And another thing, I did notice my heart having some, like, not palpitations, but I do not think it is from the dry fast. I was sitting at the computer this morning and just sitting there casually, and then all of a sudden I felt this whoop, and I thought, oh, solar activity. We are in a 3-day, yesterday, today, tomorrow, next couple of days, multi-day solar event where they're just saying to be careful because we're at a KP7, which is just below like the KP, oh, what the fuck, holy shit zone. So KP7, if you're feeling weird, tired, emotional, having heart problems, this is what it's from the sun. Anyway, I just felt like this wave come in. I thought, oh my God, I just felt a wave. It was crazy. Anyway, so I've had a little heart stuff, but I have found that just doing conscious breathing during a dry fast is so helpful. It just slows everything down. Yeah, it's really beneficial. Okay, my cat needs me. Okay, thanks for listening. Let's stop recording. Till next time.